So as I've been working in here, trying to work on different areas, trying to do a little bit here and there, overall, the train room itself has just become an absolute mess. So one of the first things that needs to get done is just to get everything organized and put away, and then kind of start from scratch. All right, so after taking some time to do a bit of cleaning up, getting shelves organized, going through and getting things swept up, vacuumed, the floor is a lot cleaner and more navigable, so doing good in that regard. So time to get on back to working on the important stuff up here on the tracks. More specifically, over here in the upper yard. So that's where we're headed to next. So here on my control panel in the upper yard, you can see that I've got some controls already in. The lights are lit up, working as they're supposed to. I did have a problem with the setup at one point and discovered I had one set of wires flipped backwards, and that was shutting the whole thing down. Very understandable. As you can see here on the back side, working on getting everything wired in. Got the 2 Octo 3s powered up and starting to run all my wires. So that is coming along nicely. And to show you here, if I press this one here, you can see that that switches. And if I come over here to the actual switch, that is working how that should. And so, of course, obviously that wire has to get cut down at some point. So things are looking up for the control panel. The controls I'm using for the control panel are the Tam Valley little light kits. This is one of the ones that they sell already together, and it's a nice little compact unit. What's nice about this is that along with this hole drilling diagram, you can actually mount this directly to your fascia and be able to use it just as is. However, I'm wanting to do my lights a little bit different and have them in more specific areas. So in order to do that, I buy the controllers as a kit, and I have to actually put them together. So here is the base control unit, and I've already attached the wire connector and the actual switch. So that goes together pretty much the same. I have done, just because of some tight spacing, I have done some custom ones where I took this controller and I actually bent it over 90 degrees so that it was coming out straight. But this one is in as it would normally be. Then for the wires, or excuse me, for the lights, I am actually adding on my own wires, and you can see here where I've already attached the green wire, and this is for the green light. I have a white wire for the center, and then a red wire to go onto the other side here. So I have red over here, and I've got white in the middle. So that makes that really easy. Just a very simple solder connection. Here's one that I just got done soldering, and then of course the heat shrink tubing going over that to seal that up. So that's how I'm doing up the wires. So let me finish this one and I'll show you a completed set. And here's the finished wired up lights. I go ahead and put a piece of heat shrink tube onto each of the wires, and then gather them together, put a heat shrink over the whole thing, and just give it a light twist. And of course the ends are stripped as well in order to be able to put them onto the little circuit board. Once that's soldered in, it's then time to mount it onto the actual control board. So this is the back of the control board. You can see here I've got the two Octo 3s attached onto the back here. Here's an example of one of the little control boards. I've got another one up here, another one up here. Slowly getting them all put in, and then each of the sets of lights going into them. I don't have all of them, all the wires properly twisted like I should have. Like you can see, I forgot to twist these before I put them in, so I got to pop the lights out and give them a nice little twist. Up in the upper corner up here, you can see I've got those nicely twisted, and this is also one where I laid the connector over to the side. I actually put a 90-degree bend in the little connecting wires. So that's how that's all going onto the back of the board. And then here on the front of the board, you can see the actual switch here, and that's what I would push. And then, of course, you have the two lights, which will switch between red and green, and you saw an example of those just a couple moments ago. So I'm a little over halfway getting all of the switches and the lights into the panel for the upper yard. That is how things are looking right now, and I think this is how I'm going to leave things for now. Thank you very much for watching, and talk to you again next time.